Lucas, being only 2.5, doesn't have an excuse to pull out of his pocket yet, or a reason to be like, guys, I don't want to do this. No, I don't want to go to therapy. Like, he doesn't have that choice. He has no excuse. All right, so just getting out of leg day, bomb workout. You know what's super underrated, and I fell fault to judging people, like guys specifically, guys that did this exercise. Then I watched Chris Bumstead do it, and I was like, dude, like, I'm missing out. So the most underrated leg workout, okay, second most, because I think the number one for guys is hip thrusts by far. Like, if you don't do hip thrusts, you ain't getting a big butt or strong butt. I want a big butt, strong butt. But underrated number two that toasted me today was the rocket inner thighs. Bruh, like fried. And this is the best part. You sit down, you do it, and you're like, oh, that feels great. Yeah, I feel it working right there. Mind muscle connection, boom, boom, boom. And like, just I keep upping the weight. And then I went to stand, and it was like, I can't walk. I genuinely can't walk. Like, it feels like a current cramp in the middle of my thighs right now. So enough about that. Leg day was bomb. But I wanted to answer what the question everyone's kind of asking of, what's no excuse? Like, what's the significance behind it? Because you can like really hop onto that phrase, like, no excuses. Yeah, like, this is the first of the year, no excuses. I'm getting after it. But I wanted to share a little bit of the significance as to what that means to me in like my context, because I think if you can find the why that you're even saying that, I think you can, the longevity of it is much more powerful, like more powerful. I don't know if that's double, whatever. I don't know grammar, I'm not good at it, didn't finish college. But so basically, as I think about like 2020, it was really a year of like navigation. Because, you know, like when you're planning a trip, you plan where you want to go, right? And how you're going to get there given the roadmap that you have. And then you choose like which road you take, which highway you go, you know, back roads, whatever. And I feel like for going into 2020, we had like a roadmap pretty set as far as like, okay, this is where we're at and this is where we want to go. But I think where it was scary all year and actually constantly kept, oh, this is good. Constantly kept redirecting was in the navigation of it. So like in the first of the year, like we had the trip plan, okay, be there in 2 hours and 30 minutes. Well, 3 months in, okay, therapy stop. What do we do now? Like I envisioned like Siri going like redirecting. Like there was an accident coming up ahead, so we wanted to redirect. So it was like constantly a year of like figuring out navigation. And I think coming out of 2020, I just have this peace, you know, just like thinking over the year. I feel like 2020 served its purpose of figuring out how to navigate where we're at and where we're going, and like what that flow looks like when we have a trip. That's figuratively speaking, but like when we have to get somewhere, if we know by April Lucas is going into preschool, which is just like I don't even really think about it. It's super overwhelming, but like if that's where we gotta go, right? Well, at least we got down the navigation part, and we know to suspect there might be a redirecting here, a redirect there, but I feel like 2020 prepped us for that. And I say all that because no excuses was really like, it came to me at the end of 2020, but it was welling up on the inside of me throughout the entire year. You know, at the end of the day, Lucas, I'm Lucas's full-time caretaker, so I go to every therapy with him. I sit in every therapy when they come to us. That's been my life for the past year. And every single therapy session, it's like you're faced with this, I don't want to say it's guilt, but it's this guilt of like, man, this kid does not deserve to have to like be treated like he needs therapy with every single motion that he does. But like, that's the reality. And I know it's to help him, and it's constant redirection. And like, he's trying to figure out how to navigate it. But like, the number one thing is when you're going on a trip and you're taking the GPS, when it says to redirect, there is a moment a lot of times where you're like, oh, should I follow what she's saying or should I just keep going? And that's kind of where no excuses comes into play, because Lucas, being only 2.5, doesn't have an excuse to pull out of his pocket yet, or a reason to be like, guys, I don't want to do this. No, I don't want to go to therapy. Like, he doesn't have that choice. He has no excuse. And I think that's where, like, for me, as a healthy human being, one that is in control of my physical fitness and my mental health and kind of how I navigate on a daily basis and how I respond to situations and redirections in life, I feel like no excuses couldn't be any more significant for the time that I'm living in personally, and for the time I think the world is living in. So I just wanted to kind of explain what no excuses meant in my context, because I think it's an excellent phrase, and like definitely down the road, like I want to do merch for it. It's just good. It fires every person up that says no excuses, that is actually determined to do something about it. But I think we need to find the context to place no excuses in. So like whatever that is for you, if you're trying to get a business up and running, like no excuses, right? Like get after it. I feel like it's like no excuses, get after it. Or you're trying to get healthy, right? You're back in the gym, you're eating healthy. Okay, well when you feel like, it's dark in the morning, I really don't feel like getting up this morning, like no excuses, get after it. That's probably gonna be the merch shirt. Like no excuses on the front, and on the back, get after it. Oh, woo! I'm all fired up. Leg days are the best days. And I used to hate legs. I love legs now. All right, I'm just rambling now, but I just wanted to share like what no excuses and the significance of it meant to me, in hopes that, you know, you could find your context to place no excuses in and like stick to that, because the longevity of that is going to create a good habit, and it's going to give you the push in not just motivation but like inspiration to be like, you know, that's right, no excuses. Like I'm not going to create this habit of excuses with everything that I do or why I can't do something. So get after it. Remember, keep fighting, keep carrying, keep pushing, and don't forget, no excuses.